I feel called out. This is not going to get better for me until I start taking consistent action. Welcome back to studio for what I hope is going to be a very productive couple of days where I finally get my shiz together for 2025. Coco is coming at the start of the vlog with the obligatory toy offering. Today he has brought a shredded up sock. This is not going to help me be productive though. As I've shared in the last couple of videos, the last couple of vlogs, I have been struggling to get motivated, and I've been struggling since the end of last year really to feel creative, especially when it comes to content aside from like my main YouTube uploads. These videos are basically the only thing that I have been consistent with. And this week is the first week where I almost started to fall behind because today is Thursday, which is my upload day, and I haven't actually finished this week's video or started editing it. I made a promise to myself when I came back to YouTube that I would never be editing a video on the day that it goes up. And the last 3 videos that went up, I was finishing off the edit on the day that they went up, but today I haven't even started the edit on the day that the video goes up. So I really need to get my collective crap together and get that video edited, which brings me to the whole point of today's vlog. I've been doing a lot of reflecting this past week on why I've been struggling to motivate myself to show up and start taking action at the start of this year. I was procrastinating, scrolling on YouTube, and a video popped up in my suggested video feed, which was about being a YouTube creator, and I clicked on that video. It was by Jeff Lupin, and basically there was one video where he was like, if you are struggling with your confidence, it's because you've been lying to yourself, because you keep saying you're going to do things and then you don't actually do them, and so you're breaking your promises to yourself. It was like one of those things that as he said it, I was like, oh, I feel called out. It was like one of those little things that just like flicked a switch in my head where I realized this is not going to get better for me. I'm not going to feel more motivated. I'm not going to feel confident about the content that I'm creating or showing up on Instagram and TikTok and the other places that I create until I start taking consistent action, until I start following through on the things that I've promised myself I was going to do. And my growing to-do list is proof of the fact that I haven't been doing that. So for the next couple of days, I'm going to try and get as much as I possibly can ticked off of my to-do list. There is a ton of stuff that I need to do in the next couple of days. I'm going to document trying to get my motivation back and things I'm trying to get ticked off my list. First thing on that list is to finish off this week's YouTube video and start editing it so I can actually schedule it to go up on time this week, because I have not actually been on time with my uploads for 2 or 3 weeks now, and it bothers me that I haven't been doing that. So let's get stuck into finishing off that YouTube video, and let's get stuck into a couple of productive days in the studio. It is just gone 20 past 8. YouTube video is up. It went up around 5 past 7, which is an hour after my goal upload time. But last week's video went up around 9:30, close to 10 o'clock, I think. And the week before that was somewhere between 8 and 9 as well. So we're moving in the right direction. Given that I started that edit at like 2:30 and still managed to get it up within an hour of my goal upload time, I am chalking that up as a win. I just finished up replying to some comments on YouTube. I've also updated my Instagram stories. I posted a reel, a TikTok, a YouTube short. I updated my Instagram broadcast channel chat thing because that had been glitching on me for a little bit, and I'd kind of not been posting in it because some of the like stickers and stuff weren't working for me, but I checked in on it today and it seemed to be working, and the little prompt card sticker finally is working for me. So I was able to like post a little question and people could reply. So that's been really fun to like check in on today. So we have had a productive day, but there is still a lot on the to-do list for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a lot of admin and just putting my head down and getting things ticked off. Pizza has been ordered. I'm going to tidy up this space because there is tripods and stuff all over my desk, and tomorrow we're going to get up early and we're going to have another productive day getting things off of this to-do list. We are not going to be carrying them into next week. Post-lunch midday update. So far today has been productive as well. I'm happy to report. I had an early start this morning and my morning did not start as planned because I had a charge on my card that I didn't recognize that came in at like 6:15, which was literally like 10 minutes after I just woken up. So before coffee this morning, I was trying to deal with canceling my card, but it turns out that it was a charge that Joe had accidentally charged to my card instead of his. But things have been ticking off the to-do list at quite an acceptable pace. I'm feeling pretty pleased with myself because I'm actually on time-ish. Like I didn't put things in on like a schedule, but I kind of split my tasks into morning, afternoon, and evening, and I got all of my morning tasks done, so I'm pretty happy with it. The biggest task that I was dreading doing today, and I have been putting off since before Christmas, was doing my end of year invoices and paying myself. I feel glad that it's done now. I don't know why recently I have been building that up in my head to be like this big thing, because it's honestly not such a big job. When I sit down and do it, I just focus on getting it done. It's really not like a painful task. Anyway, it is done now. I have paid myself. I've got the biggest task of today off of the to-do list. And then the next thing that I'm going to be focusing on is creating and scheduling the last of the content for my Patreons for January, and then creating my Patreon schedule for February. So that's all ready as well, because on Monday we have our monthly live stream sessions. So if you're new here and you don't know about my Patreon, it's a creative community. There's tons that goes on over there, including monthly live streams and workshops and free downloads. And if you haven't signed up for Patreon and you might be interested in it, you can use the code YT25, YouTube25, to get 25% off your first month or year's subscription. So I'm going to go ahead and get stuck into planning and creating some content for my lovely Patreon members. This might be one of the cutest Freebie Friday wallpapers I have ever created. I'm gonna set it as my desktop wallpaper just so you guys can see. Look how cute it is! You guys, I'm obsessed with this. By the way, this is a freebie over on my Patreon. You don't need to be a subscribing member to get this download. I will put the link to the freebie in the description under this video. Go and grab it immediately so your desktop can look as cute as mine. You guys can see this, but yesterday's YouTube upload has over 200 views in less than 24 hours. And that's not like a massive amount of views in terms of like the world of YouTube, but for me, that is a pretty big deal. Thank you so much for everyone who watched and who has commented. Like, it has 13 comments already. Again, I know in the grand scheme of YouTube that is not a massive amount, but for me, that is massive. Thank you guys for continuing to support this channel and for all the love on that video. If you haven't watched it yet, I'll put the link to it in a little pop-out card here and also in the description under this video, and you can go and watch my little kawaii zodiac draw with me video. And yeah, that's just made my Friday. End of the week / end of the vlog productivity check-in. It's currently just coming up 8 o'clock on Friday evening. You will have just seen me updating my Miller note where I started to move some of the tasks that I didn't get done over to next week's overflow task. But I actually ended up getting a lot done today. I will say that Patreon took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but I ended up scheduling a lot more than I also originally planned to. So everything is ready to go for next week, like the Procreate color palettes, which you will have seen me create, and I will link in the description under this video if you are interested in grabbing them. The other thing that I finished up was my February Patreon benefit schedule or reward schedule. I don't know like what the correct like name for that. Anyway, whatever you call it. I finished my February schedule for my Patreons and I got everything planned out, and I made sure to like properly plan it with specifics, because sometimes when I rush my Patreon plan, I'll just put things like wallpaper collection, digital download, but I don't actually think about what I'm going to do, which means that when it comes around to creating those things and like scheduling them for the week ahead, it takes me longer because I have to think out what it is. But I've already planned everything. The last thing that's left on my to-do list for this evening is very chill, just updating my Instagram stories, posting a TikTok reel and YouTube short, which I'm going to quickly edit from something that I posted on my stories earlier in the week, just like a fun little short reel to finish up the week. And then that's it. I am done for this week and I'm feeling really good about all of the things that I got done. There are like a good few tasks that did have to move to next week because Patreon took me so long, but I actually feel like I accomplished something at the end of this week, and I really think that piece of advice that I shared at the start of this vlog made such a big difference for my mindset, which is following through on the things that I'm gonna do. Today and yesterday when I sat down to my planner, I looked at the things that I had been putting off the most and I prioritized doing them first, and doing that has made me feel so good. Honestly, at the end of this week, even though I haven't accomplished everything that I set out to do, I feel like I've accomplished twice as much as I have in like any recent week since like before Christmas. So I hope that you found this video inspirational, motivational for yourself. Let me know down in the comments how you have been feeling about being productive during January. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, hit subscribe to join the growing community here on YouTube. And I will see you guys in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Should we do dinner? I think we'll do dinner.